Hey everyone, it's Willis from Valiant Comics, and this is your coffee break. Alright, let's do this. So, I want to bring you another video today, and this one we're going to talk about a book from Valiant. Yes, Valiant is back. If you're a child of the 90s, if you grew up in the 90s, you weren't cool unless you were reading Valiant. There were some great creators that were working on Valiant at the time. Valiant put out some of the best storylines of the 90s. One of my favorite artists worked on Valiant at the time, Joe St. Pierre, a friend of mine now. Love it. He worked on Ray. Some great storylines came out from Valiant. Now, Valiant is back. Valiant came back about 5-6 years ago now, when they reintroduced X-O Man of War into the comic book universe. And then, of course, they're bringing back other characters such as Archer and Armstrong, Shadow Man. I've seen Eternal Man of War or Eternal Warrior back as well. So they're slowly introducing Ninjak or Ninja K, depending on which story you're reading. They're all being reintroduced. Valiant has some really, really good authors and artists working for them right now. They got the best in the business working on these things to really introduce the characters we loved when we were kids back into our lives. Now, just because they're reintroducing the Valiant universe doesn't mean that's all Valiant universe. What we got here, what I'm going to talk to you about right now, is a book that's outside of the hero universe. Yes, they do some other great books. The one we're going to talk to you about today is a book called Britannia, Lost Eagles of Rome. Now, there are 2 issues out already. Here is issue number 1, and here is issue number 2. I sat down this morning and I read these books. I really enjoy them. Now, Britannia has been out for a while now. This is not the first time that they published a Britannia book. I think this is their 3rd series of Britannia. This is the Lost Eagles of Rome storyline. Now, just because there's already been 2 other series out on Britannia doesn't mean that you can't enjoy this without reading the other ones. This is a really good standalone story that does a good job of reintroducing the characters or bringing you up to speed quite quickly. Britannia is a character. He's a British guy in Rome, which is how he got his name, Britannia. He's one of the only British guys in his area in the Rome, helping out the Roman soldiers in the Roman Empire. So, there is some background to him. I'm not going to get into it because it would make this video too long, but Peter Milligan, the writer on this, does a really good job of introducing some of the things that have happened in the past in the last 2 series and taking you straight into the storyline. Peter Milligan is a great author from England. He's done a great job on these books. Some of you may have remembered him from things like Shade, Hellblazer. He's even worked on X-Force, if you want to talk about Marvel Universe. He's done a really good job. He gets into a little bit of mystery, a little bit of darkness. He gets some history in there. So Peter does a really good job of bringing this story to you. And then on the other side, we have Robert Gill, who is bringing you the artwork. Now, I don't want to get too far into it, but Robert does a really good job of bringing you the artwork. I mean, just check out one of the opening scenes in issue 1. Amazing artwork. A lot going on, but he doesn't lose the details. I mean, even when we're looking at a city scene, he does a fantastic job bringing this book to you. So I really like what he's been doing. I love his artwork. Robert Gill is amazing. Peter Milligan is doing a killer job on bringing this story to you. So to give you an idea where we're at, so our main character, Britannia, or the main guy in the story, he is more of a detective in a time where people rely on gods or deities to help them do things and get through and discover things. So he's an early form of a detective. In fact, he's called a detector, along those lines. Now he's trying to use logic in a time where logic isn't used. That's more dependent upon supernatural and gods and deities. So it's an interesting take where he's being logical. Everybody else is saying, oh, it was God's will, or it's some Greek god's will, or this is a Middle Eastern god will. It's interesting how they're flipping between the two. With that, the storyline starts. There was a battle between the Romans and the Germain, or people from Germany. The battle happened. The Romans lost, which is very unusual. And not only that, they lost 3 of their golden eagles. Now, if you know anything about the Roman Empire, is they really, really worshipped those golden eagles. In fact, the loss of a golden eagle meant that there was lost confidence in the leadership. So we got the Roman Emperor, who now has lost 3 eagles in a battle he sent them to get to defeat the Germans. So he brings in the Britannia, or the detector, and he says, "You've got to find my eagles, or else I'm going to lose my seat in the empire. You've got to go and find these things." And immediately he's telling him, "Go to Germany, find these barbarians, and get my eagles back." But the main character, he says to himself, "There's no way we really lost that battle." So now he's going back and trying to figure out exactly what happened in this battle. Not just about the eagles themselves, but what happened in this battle. Because I don't think it turned out the way that everyone said that it turned out. So they did a really good job of intermingling this main purpose of the storyline, but understand that there's a difference in what's happening. So I love the noir, almost like detective aspect of this. So really good book. In 3 weeks, you're gonna get issue 3. On September 19th, you're gonna get the 3rd issue of Britannia, Lost Eagles in Rome. I highly recommend. If you love the artwork from Robert Gill, you're gonna love this book. If you like detective books, if you like anything that Peter Milligan has been doing, you're gonna love this. If you like the old Hellblazer, the old Shade type books, you're gonna love this. I highly recommend this. Valiant's doing a great job. They're not just superhero books anymore. Think outside of the main Valiant universe. Britannia, the Lost Eagles of Rome are great. If you like this storyline, I do recommend going backwards and picking up the first 2 series. If you don't want to pick them up in individual issues, trades are available. You should be able to get these at your local comic book store, or from my comic book store. Even if I'm not local to you, I can still get them to you. So if you like reviews like this, don't forget to hit the like button below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can hear when other reviews like this are coming out. And with that, I'll see you